Hello, welcome, and thanks for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Singh, topping our newscast tonight. As bulk rum buyers look to Puerto Rico for cheaper prices, Cruzan Rum continues to plead for bigger government subsidies to level the playing field. In Friday's Senate session, members of Governor de Jongh's cabinet and a top Cruzan official explained to senators why they need a bigger cut on the cover-over. News 2's April Knight has more.
Cruzan rum officials say they need a bigger check from the government to fight the so-called rum wars, and the governor's cabinet agrees. Now they just have to convince the Senate.
We, Cruzan and the USVI, have lost over 6 million proof gallons of annual rum production to Puerto Rico in just over 2 years.
The Puerto Rican government receives the same rum cover-over rates as the VI, but currently Puerto Rico can subsidize its rum companies with up to 46% of their cover-over, so they can lower their rum prices. In comparison, the VI government can only give up to 25%, and Cruzan wants to raise that number to match Puerto Rico's.
If this disparity is not remedied, and if changes are not made to our current agreement, Cruzan rum will not survive.
Senators find themselves having to choose between the lesser of two evils. The government is already up to its neck in fiscal problems, but if Cruzan continues to lose customers to Puerto Rico, the territory could get less of the much-needed cover-over monies. Now the governor wants permission to negotiate and execute a new deal that would increase subsidies to Cruzan without the need for Senate approval. But senators are wary.
The way the bill is structured, we would give the governor what is pretty much to me carte blanche authority to make adjustments to the agreement with Cruzan and to simply notify us when that has been done. And that poses an issue for me.
Governor John de Jongh's cabinet, however, says skipping Senate approval is for the sake of speed, not secrecy.
The administration strongly urges you to support this legislation. Any further losses of bulk rum sales to Puerto Rico would only compound the loss of cover-over revenues to the government.
Reporting for News 2, I'm April Knight.
As we reported on Thursday, Governor John de Jongh criticized Senator Narita O'Reilly's comments regarding the layoffs by Diageo, where O'Reilly accused the Department of Labor of being unaware of the staffing changes. The governor said O'Reilly's were reckless and unfortunate, especially since Cruzans are coping with job security challenges. Senator O'Reilly responds.
Standing up and speaking out and being vigilant, if that's what the governor considers reckless, then I guess I'm reckless. I got information early this week on Monday from employees that they were being terminated. I wrote a letter to the Commissioner of Labor, which is my job to do, and I inquired with Diageo. 2 days later, I had heard absolutely nothing from Commissioner Bryan, but I did hear from Diageo, and their response was extremely vague. If the government house and the Department of Labor had the information since May, then shame on them.
Count on 2 to keep you updated. Senator Alicia Hansen has sent a letter to the Wanafui Hospital's CEO, Dr. Kendall Griffith, regarding the hospital's access and service to the deaf and hearing impaired community, after she says she received complaints about a lack of interpreters for deaf and hearing impaired patients. She said if the hospital does not provide interpreters, they are in violation of the American with Disabilities Act, which requires the hospital to honor the choice of communication for deaf and hearing impaired patients, including sign language interpreters at no cost. The senator stated that she just wanted to ensure that the Juan Louis Hospital as well as Schneider Hospital are in compliance. Hope Inc. gathered health organizations from all over the community today at the Emancipation Garden for the Caribbean Health and Wellness Fair. This community event is in recognition of Caribbean American HIV Awareness Day and National Men's Health Week.
We just have a host of service providers coming out. We have HIV testing in our mobile unit. We have real-time pain relief, American Red Cross. We have the UVI nursing students doing the biometric screenings, which is the blood pressure, diabetes, and cholesterol.
It's very important to bring the seniors out because they're the ones that need, it's imperative that they have the cholesterol test, the blood pressure test, and any other services that they may not have the opportunity to go and do right away. We're promoting men's health So we're asking the men to go out, get tested during the month of June.
There's so much information that's being shared for the community about things we need to do to stay healthy and safe, and so this is awesome. It's definitely necessary for our community.
In other health news, we informed you about the illness known as chikungunya in May 2014 after a St. Thomas woman who went on a Caribbean cruise returned home with the illness. Now it's sweeping across the Caribbean. 2 confirmed cases have been reported on St. Thomas for the illness that could be mistaken for dengue fever. What is chikungunya? Department of Health reminds you to take the necessary precautions to keep mosquitoes away. The Department of Health has issued an alert for the disease known as chikungunya. On Tuesday, the Virgin Islands Department of Health confirmed 2 new cases.
On Monday, the Department of Health confirmed the first locally acquired case of chikungunya, as well as another imported case that is associated with recent travel to the Caribbean.
And 1 previous imported case was confirmed on May 12, 2014. With the increasing number of confirmed cases reported in the Caribbean, Commissioner Plaskett said the department has been proactively preparing for the introduction of the chikungunya virus into the territory.
The department is working closely with the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and other local agencies such as the hospital, VI Waste Management Authority, and the Department of Tourism to raise awareness and prevent the spread of the disease. We are collaborating with partners in both the private and public sectors to provide the resources that will keep our islands healthy.
Although it is rarely fatal, health officials say you should still take all precautions.
It is spread by the Aedes species mosquitoes, including Aedes aegypti, which is found in the Virgin Islands. These mosquitoes like to bite during the day. There is no vaccine to prevent the disease or specific antiviral treatment. Symptoms usually begin 3 to 7 days after being bitten by an infected mosquito and include fever and severe joint pain, often in the hands and feet. Other symptoms may include headache, muscle pain, joint swelling, or rash.
Well, as we reported, the VI Waste Management Authority has been holding a series of meetings with residents on St. Croix to discuss the proposed closure of the Cotton Valley bin site and proposed relocation of the Monbijou bin site. Well, due to a lack of funding for operational costs, this is why these meetings were taking place. However, at the start of the discussion during Wednesday's meeting for Monbijou, the decision was made to reconsider the closure at least until they have exhausted communication and all possible solutions. On Tuesday, officials met with residents who use the Cotton Valley sites and announced that they had rescinded the 30-day notice for termination of services and decided not to make any decisions until they had met with the residents. Well, it was an evening of business and class as innovative companies and the Chamber of Commerce partnered. Many were in attendance as members of the St. Thomas St. John Chamber of Commerce and innovative companies hosted Business After Hours on Thursday in the Innovative Business Office lobby. Many took advantage of the opportunity to network and learn more about ongoing projects as well as plans for the future. There was some live entertainment, gift bags for attendees, door prizes, and much, much more. Congratulations to Camille Mikhail. She's been appointed Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs at the University of the Virgin Islands. UVI's President Dr. David Hall said Dr. Mikhail has made an important and meaningful contribution to the progress of the university, especially in the academic area. Dr. Mikhail joined UVI as an assistant professor in mathematics in 1996. From 2005 to 2008, Dr. Mikhail worked at the National Science Foundation in Arlington, Virginia, where she served as the program officer for the Historically Black Colleges and Universities undergraduate program. She has been involved in STEM education, working to secure grant funding from the National Science Foundation, the Department of Defense, and NASA over the years. Well, keeping our eye on the economy, another ignition switch recall at General Motors. The automaker is recalling more than 500,000 2010 to 2014 Chevy Camaros. The driver's knee can bump the key fob and turn the car off, shutting down the power steering and brakes. GM says it's received reports of 3 crashes from that same problem. Here's the New York Stock Exchange with our Stock Market Watch. Everything up, the Dow 41, NASDAQ 13, S&P 6. Coming up on News 2, don't forget Fathers this weekend. We have some ideas of some fun things to plan with Dad. Plus, in sports, 3 Ivana Udorkin High School athletes attend a signing ceremony at the school to announce their college plans, accepting full scholarships to community colleges. We'll be right back. So what's happening for the weekend? Don't forget the dads. Tonight, everyone will be heading to Frenchtown. The Committee for the Betterment of Carenage has organized and will host the Carenage Community's annual Father's Day weekend celebration. It's tonight, Saturday and Sunday for 3 nights. Live entertainment will be provided in the Father's Day Village. There's a schedule right there on the screen. A ribbon cutting will cut things off. Opening ceremonies and the crowning of Miss Carenage 2014 Chelsea Albane will take place at 6 p.m. this evening. Then the fun all begins, all courtesy of the CBC Inc.
The organization is the Committee for the Betterment of Carenage, better known as CBC. We've run this event from 1995. This is our 19th year. Next year is going to be our 20th. It's going to be bigger and better.
So be sure to check that out. Now, the first royalty of the 2014 St. John Festival is coming up on Sunday night during the St. John Festival Princess Show at 6 p.m. at the Winston Wells Ballpark. Here are the beautiful contestants. Marlene Jamalia Warner, a 9-year-old student who attends the Bethel Baptist Day School on St. Thomas. Next, we have Tazia Elaine Maduro, an 8-year-old student who attends the Allah F. Mullah Elementary School on St. Thomas. And finally, Kalia Ari Redding, 10 years of age. She attends the Guy Benjamin Elementary School on St. John. Best of luck to the young ladies. Well, Diamonds International is hosting a party with a purpose. They started things earlier this afternoon at the Big Kahuna at 5:30, but it's going on until, so there's time to get out there. The happy hour and all proceeds, organizers say, will benefit the American Cancer Society and Relay for Life. So it's a great way to get things started this weekend with Diamonds International and the Big Kahuna, partying for a purpose. Are you ready for Synesthesia? Art lovers would not want to miss this one. A new series of art exhibits begins with a reception, and that began at 6 and continues until 9 p.m. tonight at Yacht Haven Grand. The show will benefit the Art Exporium Student Scholarship Fund, featuring work by Eric Brown, Shancy Miller, A.B. Gibbs, Catherine Hintz, Lynn Berry, Madeline Meehan, and Enzor Cologne. The event will feature performance by Enzor and Alana Davis. The Exporium students will run the pop-up gallery that's from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. going on until through July 6th. Well, the 5th annual King of the Wing event kicks off this Saturday from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. All proceeds will benefit the Nana Baby Foster Home on St. Croix. All the wing lovers and chefs are usually feeling the heat as they compete for bragging rights at Megan's Bay. There will be an assortment of mouth-watering chicken wings. Now, last year, over 20 teams lined out there on the beach fighting for the chance to take home that trophy. Past winners include Glacial Energy, Fat Turtle, Construction Cookers, Tatties, and Budget Rent-A-Car. The American Red Cross USVI chapter will be holding their annual fundraising event called Fill the Booth, and it's on Saturday, June 14th, in St. Croix. This event helps raise funds so that volunteers from the USVI chapter can continue to help families affected by fires and other disasters, as well as help military families in times of emergencies. From 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., volunteers from the American Red Cross will be accompanied by firefighters from the USVI Fire Services in various St. Croix intersections, including Sunny Isles, Five Corners, and Mars Hill intersection. Well, superstitious people might have stayed in bed today. The full moon reached its peak at 12:12 a.m. this morning on Friday the 13th of June. The combination of a full moon and the much feared day won't happen again until August 13, 2049. The last time it happened was October 13, 2000. Full moons in June go by a number of names, often called rose moon, strawberry moon, or honeymoon. The full honeymoon, the June full moon, appears to have a honey or champagne color because it is low on the horizon, so light has to travel further to reach the Earth. Be sure to stick around. Your News2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.